Hello there, I'm Gary Foster and welcome to episode 26 of What Price Victory, featuring the Western Sydney Wanderers. And since our last video, there's been a little bit of a change of plan, simply because the Wanderers' results have been all over the shop, and getting towards the latter part of the season with only half a dozen or so games left, I was really expecting us to be hitting our straps and consolidating our place at the top of the league. And you can see there that we've got a 5-point gap. Perth Glory have a game in hand on us, and that was the situation as at the last video. Okay, so in the schedule, since episode 25, we had a couple of pretty emphatic performances. Well, emphatic is probably a little bit of an understatement, or an overstatement really. We had the 5-1 win over Melbourne City at home, which, coming off the back of that late 1-0 defeat away to Melbourne Victory, that gave the boys a lot of confidence, I thought. And then we had an away game against Brisbane Roar, where we struggled a lot throughout the game. Ali Ogla got a goal for us, but we struggled to close out the game, and we were lucky, fortunate, to come back to Sydney with a 1-1 draw. We then had a tricky away game to Perth Glory, who are hot on our tails, or challenging for the A-League title themselves, and they beat us 3-2, and that 3-2 score flatters us a little bit because, as you can see, J. Baghulio scored a late goal just to bring the tie back to a more reasonable score. We went all out attacking in the last few minutes, but it was to no avail. Central Coast Mariners were our next away game, and it was an okay performance. We got the biscuits, courtesy of a 2-1 win and a brace to Kontamaruskov, who I've put in a cheeky bid to Man City to try and sign him on a designated player contract. Mariners were also semi-final contenders. We've kept a little bit of distance from them. Now, we've gone on to good things in the Asian Champions League, because you could recall that we had this game against Yokohama. I'll just filter these out again, where I should have just left them. We had that good 2-0 win against Yongbok in the previous round, and we were expecting to go away to Samat Prakan City and get the biscuits there, which is what we did, although we did concede a late goal. But surprisingly enough, in this Group H, the Zhongbok surprisingly dropped points against Yokohama with a 0-0 draw. So that has now put us right back in the frame. I was expecting Zhongbok to win and make it pretty much the last game a dead rubber. So I wasn't going to record that, but now it's all up for grabs in that Asian Champions League Group H game, and if we can sit top of the tree, that will help us avoid some of the big guns from the Japanese J League. So that's how we've come to today's game. We are looking at a home game against Macarthur FC. So let me go and do a little bit of admin, and we'll come back for that game. Okay, so here we are for the game against Macarthur FC. We've got Mejias in goal, Traore, Baghulio, Wright and Ugarkovic in defence, Aziz and Metcalf in midfield, wide attacking players of Terise and Abini, and up front we've got our goal-scoring heroics of Tamaruskov and Tedik, who's just come back from a little bit of an injury spell. So we'll submit that team. We'll go to the dressing room, and I don't really want to put a rocket up them because the situation isn't dire. I mean, we were still in the box seat. This is a big rivalry match. Yeah, well, it's Western Sydney rivalry, and we're favourites. Go out and get that win. Let's be assertive, and I'll do the rivalry thing. And they've all been motivated, so that's good news. I was expecting to get harassed in the tunnel before we took the field, but it wasn't to be. So okay, just sort of checking that we've got this on extended highlights. Yeah, this will be a standalone game with the ACL game coming up probably in the next video. Corner to Wanderers with Teresa ripping it in, and in the near post is Abini, who had a pretty good chance there. I mean, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and give him credit for getting into the right position. So Bagulio with a good header. Tamaruskov wide out to Teresa. Flat ball inside to Metcalf, and a nice little ball through to Tamaruskov, who had tracked all the way up after laying off that pass from really deep. So good signs. And here we have a corner with Teresa again. Where's Abini? No, he goes a little bit deeper, but Wright picks it up and wide to Teresa again, who back to Wright, up from the back. Metcalf with his back to goal. Aziz and Bagulio playing it around. Patient build-up, which I don't really mind, as long as they don't turn possession over here. So, bit of a daisy cutter there from Teresa, but it went wide of the goals. So, as you can see, all the momentum seems to be with Western United, and you'd expect that with when you have a look at the league table. But it's still 0-0 on the scoreboard, which is the most important thing. Ugarkovic, who's been playing some good games for me, but he's put in a transfer request because I've been playing him at right back rather than as a defensive midfielder when I originally bought him, and I just don't play with a DM in the A-League regular. I might play with the DM in the ACL games, but yeah, he's got his cranky on, and despite playing some good games for me, he's been transfer listed. So Tamaruskov there with a poor effort. And Tamaruskov again, he's getting himself into really good positions now. So there's, I think this could be his day to rip loose. Teresa again with a corner, but easily cleared. But then our defence pressing, able to win it back. So Garkovic up from the back, cross to the far post with Teresa, who gets it in, jumps over his defender, and puts it away. So once again, good play by Ugarkovic, and he'll have pretty impressive stats. So hopefully I can I'll get a message from him saying that he wants to withdraw his request, because I mean he's playing well at right back. There's him and Bailey Wright. They're my regular choices, I guess. Wright would normally play there, but anyway. We'll see what happens, because Macarthur are now on the attack. They haven't been up this end of the field much at all, but Ugarkovic with the pretty poor clearance. The ball comes in again, and there's a lightning return by Tommy Uric, who's well known to Australian A-League fans for getting the playing a prominent role in the in Australia's Asian Championship win back in 2015, I think it was. So Uric with a good header. Okay, so that just means that these boys need a little bit of a tickle up, just to let them know that they're still in the game. Well, there's a game on, and they need to they need to pull their finger out. So Macarthur with a free kick in a dangerous area, and a Beanie who's doing some defensive duties gets in the way of blocking that shot. Long ball up to Tedic, and here we got Wanderers going forward, streaming forward, but hopefully we haven't overcommitted at the back. So a Beanie and Aziz, a Beanie again. Metcalf, who's put in a couple of good shifts for us, turning into a goodbye. Ugarkovic again. Can he lay it on? Yes, he can. And there's Tedic. Tedic with a good header and a good save by the keeper. Teresa to whip it in near post, and a Beanie. We're certainly having our chances. There's another one hopefully coming up. Metcalf and Aziz combining. Tedic again. Wide to Traore. Square ball. Teresa tap in by Tamaruskov. Well done. Just before half time too. So Bagulio up from the back. Metcalf and Aziz. Square ball from Tedic to Traore. That was probably the money ball there for Teresa. And that just left Tamaruskov with a tap in from 3 metres out. Okay, so that will change my half team talk. I can't be as critical of them as I would have been if it was 1-1. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Wanderers still need to play that. It's a through ball. The keeper comes out and he's missed it. Okay, so my changed plans have now changed again, so I will have my cranky pants on, because Uric lays it off, and then, yeah, Medjas, could he got to it? Even if you're going to come 10 yards out from goal, you need to get it. Right, so coming up to half time, dressing room. Point the finger. We've been the better team. I'm not happy with the performance. I think that, we're rating reasonably well, but I don't want them to get complacent. Okay, so it's all to play for then. Just let them run on. We won't have a shout out at them just yet. Yeah, so not playing badly. We're just not playing goodly. XG would suggest that we should be in command of this game. Teresa with the corner. Far post. Kamaruskov got out, jumped there. Bailey right up from the back. Garkovic. Okay, can we spread it wide, guys? Where's our wide players? A Beanie, he's not all that wide. Okay, and he's gone in field. So it looks like we're attacking through the centre here, are we? Traore nods it down to Tamaruskov. Back to... Yeah, possession turned over. Just a little bit too easy. And Traore on a yellow. He's been on that for a while, so... Don't worry too much about it. He's got to be offside, surely. He's offside. Yes, he is. Trust me, VAR, it's offside. Yep, we know that. Skip to the loo. Okay, I'm going to go to a more attacking mentality. And I'm looking at our attacking options. Well, it's Macarthur with the ball. Got a lot of players committed forward, although there's a lot of red and black shirts behind them, so interesting to see how this pans out. Oh, okay. So looking at Orglar or maybe Pickering. Okay. Cleared by right. Beanie, I'll bring Orglar on. No, I won't. I'll bring Pickering on the right. Pickering's put in some good performances for us, and that will mean Orglar will probably come on for Therese, who appears to be bottoming out at the moment. So long sweeping ball to Albini. This could be his last touch, so make it a good one. Oh, Christ. Right. Macarthur is streaming forward. They seem to have a lot of space. Okay. Come on. Cross comes over and a free header. Not really quite sure giving Tommy Uric a free header inside the penalty area is a good play. Okay, so I'll just pause this. I'll get Therese on. Off, rather. Orglar can come on. And then probably be looking around about the defensive end for my last change. Need to demand more. Traore not playing well. His stats seem to have been flattening out. Yes, commanding catch. Okay, so throw wide to Traore. Orglar on the ball. Traore. On ball coming in is Pickering. Oh, hits the post. Damn shame. Right, we'll just pause that. And we'll get Bagulio off. And Kankar can come on. He's certainly good enough to play it out. Oh, Traore on the ball. Cross over to Tedic, and there we have a glancing header. It looks possible offside. Okay. Looks like the Macarthur defence are doing a chicken dance. That usually means the goal has been awarded. Okay. Yes, I do want the tactical changes played after this goal. I was going to say it was across to the byline, wasn't it? It was on the byline, gosh. Maybe a step or two out. So, Tedic. Okay, tight offside, yeah, we know. They've given the goal. So, right, we'll just pause that. And we'll go back to positive. And our instructions will be to waste time. And to slow it down and to be more disciplined. Okay, Kankar with free kick. Not much space between both teams there, just 10 metres each side of halfway, so I'm assuming, well, I was going to say a long ball, but nothing came of it. Okay, Garkovic, long sweeping pass to Tamaruskov, back to Metcalf. Oh, he was offside. Okay, we'll run with that. Okay, Bolton need to get our players behind the ball. Metcalf cuts out that pass quite easily. And this is where I always get a little bit annoyed about the time wasting, or what SI sees time wasting as. Certainly nothing like that. But anyway, it's come off. Even though Tedic had lost the ball. But yeah, it's not really what I would call time wasting as such. But there we go. It's 3 points, which is what I wanted. Although I'm a little bit concerned again about the fact that we couldn't kill the game. XG would suggest that there wouldn't be much in it. There'd just be the goal. Go to the dressing room. Ah, gosh, what do you do? Let's just say it was a good win. Convinced, pleased, anxious. Ideally I would have liked to have seen it wasn't good enough. Okay, so at 3 points now puts the pressure on Perth Glory in their upcoming games, even though they've got 2 games in hand. They need to win both those games now, so that's what I was at least hoping for. Got a game against Sydney coming up. A little bit of admin there to do, but let's just go to the schedule. That's coming up in 3 days' time. Okay, so game time would suggest that's a pretty tight turnaround. But I'll play that game offline and I'll come back for the Jean Bock ACL game, because that will have a bearing on the Group H of the ACL. With regard the A-League, let's say Western United. Okay, Western United is still in the hunt. I mean, they've fallen a lot off the pace. I mean, they're playing for the minor spots now. I think Wanderers 1 or 2 spots, first or second spot wrapped up, and Perth have got the other. So it depends if Perth want to chase us down. So we'll come back for the ACL game, and fingers crossed that offline that Sydney can retain its bragging rights. Wanderers can retain their bragging rights over Sydney FC. So a crucial game coming up, but we'll be back for the ACL game against Jean Bock. So I'm Gary Foster. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch up with you shortly. All the best now.